Osho International. I'd never heard of it before, and I tried Googling it, but my internet connection is really slow. And still got the little whirligig thing waiting for it to download. So until I get more information about it, I guess I'll just have to just ramble on about something because there's nothing worse than dead airspace. Kind of explains the 24-hour news cycle. They just can't shut up because, I mean, who wants to just listen to absolute silence? So, anyway, the one thing that, besides this whole Osho International thing that's really got my curiosity piqued is that the TSA confiscated a cupcake. And about time, really, I think, because cupcakes are a threat to civilization as we know it. And I've known this for quite some time. As a matter of fact, I know who the Queen of Cupcakes is, and the TSA is going to be gunning for her now. And so I'm kind of pumped about that. There's just no way she's explaining her way out of it. No, it's still sitting there kind of doing this little whirligig thing. I'm sorry, my internet connection really is that disastrously slow. I mean, I think what it is that because of where my computer sits, it's that it honors my mother who was prone to going off on a tangent. She'd start talking about one thing and then she'd be right off talking about something else and you'd have no idea why. You could start talking about knitting and then all of a sudden the conversation would turn to goiters in a heartbeat and you're never really sure why. I never really understood what knitting and goiters had to do with each other, but there's a connection and she saw it and she might have been like a savant of some type. I'm glad I'm not affected with that. I tend to really stay right on task. It's still doing its whirligig thing, I swear to God. So I'll get to this whole Osho International thing as soon as the whirligig goes away. I don't know why they have to put the whirligig on there. I guess it's just to tell you that your computer isn't locked up. But it's been my experience. My computer is usually locked up even if it does have whirligig. So I guess it really doesn't matter if you have the whirligig or not. But, at least you feel like the computer's trying to do something, and that's what's really important. My mother and aunt used to talk about, what you call groups of things like, pride of lions and herd of cows and, a flock of birds. Or the one that they just would sit there and go on and on and on about because they couldn't understand why you would even call it that or how it got called that, but it is called a gaggle of geese. Can you imagine a gaggle of geese? Just stunning, really. Well, there's the little whirligig thing. It isn't even changing color. They ought to have the little whirligig thing changing color. While it's doing this thing going around in a circle, it should, like, I don't know, be changing colors, just to show you that I'm trying hard. You know, maybe every once in a while, like a little virtual bead of sweat could drip off in it and run down your screen. And that way you know it's working extra hard on your behalf. I just, if it was my little universe. Of course, if it was my little universe, all the start buttons would say go baby, so. You know how when it's really cold and you go out and you walk on the new snow and it's really, really cold and it's got that like crunchy, squeaky sound to it? Does that just like make you shiver up your spine? It does me. I always wonder about sensations that I get. I wonder if other people feel them. Like I got a little fluttery thing that happens to my eye. I always wonder if anybody else gets that. You ever get a fluttery eye where it just feels like the eyelid's just sitting there going? Just curious, if anybody's still with me at this point, if you get the fluttery thing, leave a comment. I'm actually getting kind of curious about this Osho International thing. I mean, I thought it was an airport. Maybe that's what it is. Why is everybody on about this airport? But then again, that would mean that there's either a city or a country named Osho. Huh. sometimes it sucks being an ignorant American because I don't know if Osho's a country or not. It might be a city. Could be a city. No, that's Osaka I'm thinking of. So anyway, getting back to the groups of things, what never came up was, what do you call a group of fireflies? It's just like one of life's mysteries. I'm not even sure what you'd call a group of any insects. I mean, what would you call a group of spiders? Or a bunch of flies? Or, you know, I mean, insects are important. They deserve to have names for their groups. It just seems fair, that's all. Well, anyway, enough about groups of things. I want to get back to this TSA cupcake thing because this thing is just like really amazing to me. I mean, are 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 the TSA really protecting us that intensely that they have to confiscate cupcakes because somebody might throw it into the fuel tank and make chemtrails with cupcakes? Do we really want cupcake molecules in our atmosphere? I mean, maybe they did the right thing here. I think people are being a little too hard on them about confiscating cupcakes. I mean, well, then again, if you got molecules of cupcakes in the atmosphere, that would be sweet. You know, like a really good chocolate cupcake with really creamy chocolate frosting on it and the sprinkles. You gotta have the sprinkles. That's like that would be like a really awesome cupcake. Now, if you could atomize that and spray it all over the world, and since chocolate is chemically basically just like love anyway, it would be like spreading love over the world. So yeah, I guess I'm opposed to the TSA confiscating cupcakes because, well, the chocolate ones, the chocolate ones with the chocolate frosting with the sprinkles on top. Because if those get atomized and turned into chemtrails, then it would be like spreading love around the world. And that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. So that's something for everybody to think about. So I I want to hear your comments on atomizing cupcakes because I think maybe we have a possible inroad to world peace by atomizing cupcakes. And I think the TSA is trying to stop world peace by confiscating cupcakes and keeping them off from airliners. There's your conspiracy sundown. That's what is up. Anyway, the little whirligig is still doing the whirligig thing. I don't know what's up. I mean, usually by this time, after 3 or 4 minutes, I usually get a search result. It just, I don't know. I guess it's just exceptionally slow tonight. But like I said, it would be nice. Okay, so if you really need to look at the overall theme of this video, we need to call groups of insects something. We need to atomize chocolate cupcakes with chocolate frosting and sprinkles to spread love and promote world peace. And we need to do something about the whirligig thing that tells you that your computer's working, because it doesn't always indicate that your computer's working. It could still just as easily be locked up. And it would be nice if it changed colors like the rainbow, so it was interesting to look at, and the occasional bead of sweat to show that it is actually doing something would be a positive. So anyway, I guess I really don't know anything about Osho International. At first I thought it was OSHA, and I thought I could really do an in-depth video on it, because being in the trades, I know something about OSHA. I've had to deal with them before, but no, it's not OSHA, it's Osho. Enunciation is important. So there's your takeaway from this video. Enunciation and understanding what you're talking about is extremely important. But atomizing chocolate cupcakes with chocolate frosting and sprinkles on top could promote world peace, and the TSA's against it, and it's a fucking conspiracy. So that's I guess I'm just going to have to end it there, because Google just won't let me download the information that I want. Have a nice day.